The story begins with a blonde-haired boy looking at a school building, pondering on how people associate high school life with youth, friends, and more. Everyone has expectations for their school life, but that's not the case for him. However, it seems it's all about the change. A girl arrives carrying a pile of snacks, and her companions ask whether she intends to eat them all. The protagonist observes them quietly, and by now, 2 months have passed since enrollment. Groups have already been established, and each person has begun inscribing a page in their youth. He rises from his seat and departs. The girl glances his way, noticing him, and lightly licks her finger. Meanwhile, he continues his existence as a loner, undisturbed. His name is Yuko Asahi. He once thought eating in the restroom was merely a joke, yet now he realizes it is not so unpleasant. Though concerned about hygiene, he reassures himself that since the food is sealed in a bag, it should be safe enough. Having transferred schools for as long as he can remember, somewhere along the way, he forgot how to forge friendships. He does not search for anything anymore. All he wishes is to pass his days in quiet solitude, nothing more. Suddenly, the girl from earlier peeks inside and remarks that she has found him. She asks whether he can open the door, and he stiffens in shock, panic flooding his chest. She wonders if he is all right, and he firmly reminds her that this is the boys' bathroom. Her name is Tsukumin. She acknowledges it with ease, but he urges her to leave, for she is the only one whose presence here troubles him. She questions why he is eating in such a place, and inwardly he admits it is because he has no friends. She, by contrast, is radiant, beloved, the center of attention in class. Their natures could not be more opposite. Lost briefly in thought, she remains silent, prompting him to ask what she actually wants. At last, she answers, saying the food he is eating looks delicious. He retorts by asking if she had not devoured plenty of bread earlier in the classroom. She explains with a straight face that rice and this belong to entirely different stomachs. He sighs, yet before he can argue further, she asks softly if it is truly no good. In response, he hurriedly eats it himself. He continues, saying that even if he refuses, it will make no difference, and in that instant, she locks the door. She suddenly climbs atop him, and between these two complete opposites, there is a hidden secret. His face reddens as he stammers that there is no need for her to be on top of him. She undoes his button, recalling aloud that last time it became stuck on the collar. While he protests in vain that she is not listening, his embarrassment rises uncontrollably. Without warning, she bites into his neck, her lips pressing against his skin as she begins to draw his blood, breath catching. He asks if it is not already enough, and after a moment, she withdraws her fangs, staring intently at him. His composure falters, and she notices, while he demands that she step away. She apologizes softly, remarking that he is a boy after all, then offers him a bandage to cover the wound. This is a secret between them. If he desires to continue living quietly, he must conceal this strange bond. She thanks Asahi gently, while he reveals that Tsukumin is a vampire. In class, he wonders if he should stop by the library. He notices the boys trying to persuade Tsukumin to spend time with them. The girls join in as well, and she laughs awkwardly, uncertain about what to do. He observes that she remains as popular as ever, and with everyone constantly surrounding her, it must be exhausting for her. Still, he decides it has nothing to do with him. Later, he goes to his designated seat in the library and feels relieved that she has not followed him, making the atmosphere peaceful. Yet, in that very moment, she calls out to him. Surprised, he asks if she was not supposed to go out with her friends, but she replies casually that she ditched them. She takes the book from his hand and asks what he is reading. It happens to be a dictionary on vampires, and she immediately questions whether he is researching her. He explains that he is simply trying to learn her weaknesses. She blushes faintly, finding it embarrassing. He reveals that the most popular person in his class is not even human. She is a vampire, and he alone knows her secret. He asks whether the things written in the book are accurate. She responds that she can tell him, but only if she receives something in return. He steels himself, prepared to endure some damage for the greater good, and agrees. Pleased, she sits down beside him with a bright expression. He begins with the most well-known trait, sucking human blood. She admits that it is true, but explains that there are substitutes available. He immediately tells her to rely on them instead, yet she states she has her own preferences. His confusion lingers, but he moves on to the next entry. Weakness to sunlight. She admits she dislikes it, though she does not burst into ash. That is why she wears long sleeves during the day. He proceeds to ask if she fears crosses, but since she is not religious, she has no idea. He then questions whether she would die if a stake were driven through her heart, and she trembles, retorting that anyone would die from that. When he asks if she is afraid of garlic, she responds cheerfully that she loves it. He continues to test various entries, only to sigh in disappointment, realizing the information is utterly useless. At that moment, she notices his neck, apologizes quietly, and declares she will take her reward now. Without hesitation, she bites him. After some time, she finally finishes, and he mutters that she should at least choose a better spot. She chuckles softly and teases him, asking whether this excites him. His face turns crimson. She quickly adds that she is only joking before preparing to leave. Just before she departs, however, he stops her and asks if he can pose a question. He wonders aloud why she always bites the neck when drinking blood. To him, it seems nothing more than the common image people have of vampires, since there are certainly easier places to bite. Her face suddenly flushes crimson. He tilts his head, confused, while she stammers, begging him not to make her say strange things, calling him an idiot. She storms off angrily, leaving him behind in bewilderment. He injures his leg while playing and thinks he is messed up. Either way, he is not skilled at team sports at all. In a sense, he might even be fortunate. The teacher asks if his leg is okay, and he assures him it's merely a slight sprain. He then asks if he can fetch some equipment from the gym storage. The teacher feels puzzled, but, after considering, consents. The teacher apologizes for troubling him with the task. He exhales, calling it a nuisance, yet he also feels uneasy just sitting idly. On his way, he notices the girls. Sukamine scores, and the girls are astonished by her. He admires her athletic capabilities. Since she's a vampire, it makes sense, though only he knows this. She notices him walking away and fixes her gaze on him. Inside the storage room, he wonders where everything is. She tells him he's not supposed to be idling away. He asks about her class and mentions that the teacher asked him to run an errand. She admits she slipped out, and he responds that she's the one shirking duties. Then, he asks what she needs and immediately refuses, declaring he won't provide blood. She flushes red and insists that's not why she's there. She explains she's concerned because he's limping. He tells her it's only a sprain and asks her to leave. She asks if she truly appears that pitiable. He questions if she said something, and she falters, claiming she didn't. He feels bewildered, wondering why she's upset. She remarks that the weather is hot and unzips her jacket. He recalls that she once said she wears long sleeves during the day, which must be harsh for her, not that he actually cares. He gathers the equipment and turns to return, but pain shoots through his leg. She tries to catch him, only for both to fall. She apologizes, and he looks at her, thinking she must endure greater hardship in this heat with long sleeves, yet she was still worried about him. She asks if he's angry, and he offers her his blood, leaving her bewildered. She questions why he's suddenly saying this. He replies that if she doesn't want it, that's fine, but she deeply desires it. He urges her to hurry, or they'll think he's neglecting duties. He notices her undergarments showing because of the sweat and quickly averts his face in embarrassment. She remarks that he's deliberately making it easier for her to drink. Flustered, he retorts that it's not like that. She sinks her fangs and begins drawing blood. She finally withdraws her teeth, and he calls her name. She chuckles, thanks him for the meal, and departs. He remains stunned, wondering if it was only 2 bites. Meanwhile, her friend asks where she's been, and she replies that it's a secret.